Hi, I'm Rachel with Stirring the Deep, and I saw a phrase the other day on a guy's t-shirt, and I wanted to share it with you because it was thought-provoking for me. It said, anchored in love. And I thought, well, what does that really mean? And then, am I anchored in love? And I think what it means is whatever you're anchored in is what determines your words, your thoughts, your actions, your decisions. And what determines those are really your beliefs, what you truly believe about yourself and God and other people and your work and relationships. Because what you truly believe determines all those things. So that's what you're anchored in. And what we believe can manifest itself in various ways, meaning it can be beliefs that are really grounded in fear or pain or anger or pride or self-adulation or sadness. There's a lot of different things that we can actually be anchored in. And so I was thinking, well, who wants to be anchored in all that stuff? I mean, if you ask anybody, of course that's not where they want to be. They want to be coming from a place of love. But how do you get there? Because a lot of those things, that's the thing about an anchor. I mean, it's like it's solid. It's holding you down. It's a stronghold in your life. And if you have all these things, how do you set yourself free from them so that you can truly be making a decision out of a place of love and choices and your words and your thoughts? Well, I thought about it, and it's an easy but it's difficult at the same time, and it's something that I find over and over is the answer to many of our questions and to many of our desires, and that is we stir the deep, meaning we cultivate an intimate relationship with God. I mean, truly take the time to cultivate that intimacy by getting to know Him, by listening, by abiding in His Word, by doing all these things. And so that cultivation is what moves us to be anchored in love, because as we're spending that time with Him and His truth is filling our soul, we're becoming more in line with His will. And the Spirit in us is of Him is growing, and as it grows and it matures, then whatever's happening of the flesh becomes less, and the Spirit becomes greater in us. And so what happens over time is you see we start shifting from leaving and not being anchored in these things anymore to being anchored in God, because God is love. And when we come from a place of that, then everything that we do starts becoming from a place of love. So that's the easy part, because it's God's work in us. Our part is to spend that time cultivating that intimacy with Him, just like we would with our spouse. The difficult part is that you have to surrender and give up your self-will. Meaning you can't say, I know what's good and right and these are my beliefs, and being, you have to be able to let that stuff go. You have to be able to invite God into all that stuff, the fear, the pain, the anger, all of it, so that He can work it all out in you, because He's the one that does it in us. We don't do it ourselves. He does the work in us. And so we get connected to Him. We abide in the vine, and then He does the work. It's an incredible experience, and I have experienced that over time. And just seeing that shift from being anchored in these other things to being anchored in love, and it is truly incredible and just so freeing and amazing to see God's work. And there's still lots of work to be done, but it's the progress forward. So I'd ask you, what are you anchored in? And it may be some of these other things that are more the flesh, but are you moving toward being anchored in love? Is that transition happening in your life? Because it should be if you're growing in Him. And if it's not, then I would just ask you to really look at your relationship, and are you spending the time cultivating that relationship with God on a daily basis, abiding in His Word, talking, listening, spending that time? Because that's going to get you to a place where you are anchored in love. Until next time, stir the deep, because it truly is the one thing we do that changes everything.